How's it going, everyone? Today is Tuesday, which means that it's time for another live Q&A. As always, I'm your host, Paul J. Lipsky. If you watch my channel, you've probably seen a bunch of videos about how to dropship onto different marketplaces like eBay and Facebook Marketplace. We do some Amazon, online arbitrage, different things like that. If that interests you, check out my videos. And then if you have any questions about what I talk about, make sure to come to one of these live streams. I do them every single Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time, and it's just a chance for you to jump into the chat, ask me any questions you have, and I do my best to answer those questions for you. As usual, down in the description of this video are a whole bunch of free resources that are available to you. I have a whole bunch of different ebooks I've put together teaching you how to dropship onto eBay, onto Facebook Marketplace. Another one that has all the top suppliers that I use for drop shipping, as well as all the software that I use as well. So definitely check those out and take advantage of those resources, because I put together those recently and I've been getting a ton of feedback from people who absolutely love it and are just ecstatic that I'm giving away all that information for free. So definitely check that out. It's great to be back. It's been about 2 weeks since I've had my last live stream because we had the 4th of July and then I was doing some traveling. So I wasn't available for the live stream, but I am back and ready to answer your questions. So let's see who's here. All right, Kared says, Paul, you recently made a YouTube video talking about using CJ dropshipping for eBay. Would you recommend using CJ dropshipping for Facebook Marketplace dropshipping? I think they have 2 warehouses in the United States on the East Coast and the West Coast. Yeah, so that video came out just a few days ago. Mostly what I recommend that people do is if they're going to dropship on the eBay, they use US-based suppliers like Walmart, Home Depot, Amazon, or wholesale suppliers that are based here in the United States. A lot of people want to dropship from overseas, like from China, where the cost of goods is much lower, but there are problems with that are more challenging, especially if you're a beginner. So that's why I recommend that you usually stick with suppliers based in the United States. You're not going to run into issues like longer shipping and handling times and problems returning items. It's definitely possible to dropship from these Chinese websites, but it's just going to be harder because you're going to run into those issues. But I get a lot of questions about it. And recently I started dropshipping from CJ Dropshipping, and I found that of all these different Chinese suppliers, they were the easiest ones for me to work with, the ones with the least headaches. And they do have some US warehouses, although the items they have in them are quite limited, to be honest. So my advice is, if you're going to dropship from China, the best website to do it from is CJ Dropshipping. However, if you're selling on Facebook Marketplace, I would not ever dropship from China. And that's because you have to get your customers their items much faster than you do on eBay. eBay, they let you set your own shipping and handling times, but not on Facebook Marketplace. So with Facebook Marketplace, you don't want to be dropshipping from China at all, including CJ Dropshipping. And yes, you can dropship from CJ Dropshipping using the US warehouses, but again, the number of items in those warehouses is going to be more limited than you would get with like Home Depot and Walmart and things like that. Hey, what's up, John? Glad to see you, man. How's everything working out for you? John just joined my course. He's been getting things set up, asked me a few questions. So happy to see you here, John. Ooh, audio seems a little hot. You know what? Thanks for letting me know that. I'm going to lower it down. Sorry if I've been blowing out people's ears the last 3 or 4 minutes. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Let me know. Let's see. All right, that should be a little bit better now. But let me know if how's the audio is sounding, guys. Okay, so Gerardo has a question, says, how do you go about selling Amazon items under $25 using a non-Prime account? Do you include shipping in the price, or do you avoid those and just sell items $25 plus from Amazon? So when you're drop shipping from Amazon, you can't use Amazon Prime. If you use Amazon Prime, Amazon will shut down your Prime account. They don't let you do it. So what I recommend people do is just set up a regular Amazon account. Now what that means is you're not going to get the Prime benefits. Prime benefits include free shipping on all orders, even orders that are under $25, and fast shipping on all orders. The fast shipping thing is a non-issue. And that's because even without Prime, Amazon still ships out their items and gets them delivered really, really quickly to the customer. Even if it's not the same as like 1 or 2 day that you'd see with Prime, it's still really fast. And a lot of times you will get it delivered to your customer in 2 days, just because that's what Amazon does. That's their whole system. They get those items out quickly. So that's really a non-issue. The other part, the cost of shipping, yeah, if the item's under $25, you just add in the cost of shipping, or you can just stick to items that are over $25 so you don't have to worry about it. And everyone else is going to be doing the same thing as well, so it's not like you're not going to be competitive with those other people. All right. What is up, man? Cyberplay wants some advice, says that he's been struggling to make sales, listed some items using Zeek onto eBay, but no luck. What's the advice? So, man, when it comes to selling items, there are a few basic things you have to get down. And every time I go into someone's store to analyze what they're doing, because they're saying they're not making sales, it's always these same things. Even if they insist that they are doing things right, if you look in and be able to see that they're not doing all these things right. So these core things you got to get down are one, product research. You got to learn the best way the way to find the best products that are popular right now, that are hot selling, that people actually want to buy. And you want to go ahead and sell those same items or really similar ones yourself. That is a process that you can do with Zeek Analytics, or you can do it on your own without software, but something like a software like Zeek Analytics is really going to help you and speed up that process quite a bit. So the way I do that is I like to go onto eBay and find other people who are drop shipping. Then I can scan through their store using Zeek Analytics. That will tell me what their most popular items are. I know those items are being drop shipped, and then you just kind of reverse engineer it. The other things you have to get down is really the umbrella category there is optimization. You have to optimize your titles, making them full of keywords that people are actually going to be searching for when they're looking for your item. And you want to, as much as possible and reasonably enough, optimize other things. So like the main image of your item, of your listing, I should say. So the main image given to you by like Walmart might be okay, but there might be a better image in there that's different. That'll make you stand out from the competition on eBay. So you want to use that. You want to look at the category that AutoDS assigned to it. Say, hey, is this the best category, or is there a better one that I can assign this to? So those are the kind of things that you want to do just to make sure your listing is fully optimized. And then if that doesn't work, another thing that is really helpful for a lot of people is running a promoted listing campaign on eBay. You can run these at like a flat 1 to 2%. Just run them for all your items, and people have seen that to have a significant boost for their listings as well. All right. Let's see. How's the mic sounding now, guys? Because no one's gotten back to me on that. Someone complained that it was too loud in the beginning. Let's see. Gerardo says, AutoDS failed to convert tracking numbers for a few of my orders. When this happens, do you recommend I upload the Amazon tracking number to keep up my ratings for uploading tracking numbers, or is it risky? All right, so what Gerardo's talking about is when you are using a software like AutoDS. That's what I use for drop shipping on eBay and Facebook Marketplace. But let's stick to eBay for this one. This software can really automate a lot of your business for you. So you can put items into it and it will list it onto eBay. Then it will update the price if the price changes on like Amazon in this case, or if the item goes out of stock on Amazon, it will change the item to out of stock on your eBay store. And you can even set it up to automatically order items for you if the orders come in on eBay. So really powerful software. When it automatically orders for you, it will also automatically upload the tracking number for your order from your Amazon order once it's available. And if that's an Amazon tracking number, it will convert it into a usable tracking number. So really, really useful software and feature right there. But in this case, Gerardo ran into an issue because AutoDS didn't upload the tracking number, or it looks like it didn't convert it or upload it, is the way it sounds. So now you don't have a tracking number that you can upload. Yes, there's an Amazon one, but I don't recommend you upload Amazon tracking numbers onto eBay, even though they allow you to do that. So in your case, what I would do, Gerardo, is go over to TrackTaco.com. TrackTaco is a way that you can convert these tracking numbers without using AutoDS or similar software. So you use that to get the tracking number, and then you upload that tracking number into eBay yourself manually. And then also contact AutoDS to let them know that that happened. They're always working to improve their software, but you have to let them know if there's any issues so they can fix it. Ahmad says, what's the manual way to find the perfect product for eBay? All right, so I kind of touched on this before, but let's see. Sound is fine. Thank you, John. Appreciate you. I kind of touched on this before, but the way you're going to do this is I have a lot of videos on how to do this. So make sure you search after this on YouTube for one of my product research videos, but I'll kind of talk you through it right now. You want to head on over to your supplier's website and find a product that is really popular on that website. So most websites will tell you that what their best sellers are. Or if you go into search results, it'll tell you like, here's a best seller. It will label it. Walmart does that, for instance. And Amazon does that. Find one of those products and then search for it on eBay. Now, everyone who's selling that is probably a drop shipper. So look at all the people that are selling that product and find people that have a lot of feedback. The more, the better, but you want at least about 30 feedback and more. You find a seller like that, you go into their store, and now you know this person is probably a drop shipper. There's other things you can do to make sure they're a drop shipper, but let's just assume you figured out they are a drop shipper. You go in there, look at all of their items for sale, and open them up one by one. Each of those items will then say how many times they sold. You're looking for items that have sold multiple times. If you're using this method, you want at least 2 to 3 times. Honestly, ideally, what you want are items that have sold multiple times in the past month. Because if they've sold multiple times in the past month, you know that the item is popular right now. Unfortunately, there's no way to manually see that information. And that's why Zeek Analytics is really important to use. Because Zeek Analytics will not only do all of that for you, which requires like a lot of time looking through each person's listings and seeing which ones are actually selling, but it'll actually show you how many times those items sold in the past month, which you can't even get from eBay anymore. So that is the manual way to do it. But like I said, it's not ideal. Slow Apocalypse says, for someone who's just starting out, is dropshipping on eBay or Facebook Marketplace easier to automate without virtual assistants? eBay, for sure. So for both methods, dropshipping on eBay and Facebook Marketplace, there is software available. And in fact, you can use AutoDS for both of them. That's what I recommend. But eBay has an API program, which means that they allow third-party software to connect into eBay and work with eBay and interact with it. Facebook Marketplace does not have that. So when you use AutoDS with eBay, it's seamless. It just works. You add an item to AutoDS, it does everything else. It just lists that item. It will reprice and restock it in the background. Easy peasy for you. Even auto ordering for you. You can even answer messages through it as well. There's a lot of integration there. With Facebook Marketplace, it is by nature limited. It can't do that because there's no API program. So we kind of have to use workarounds to use software with Facebook Marketplace. So definitely, if you're looking to have automation going on, eBay is going to be much more automated than Facebook Marketplace. It depends on what the tracking number is that they give you, but some of the tracking numbers are accepted by eBay. Eli says, realistically, how long do you think it takes to become profitable if I work on eBay dropshipping every day, at least an hour? So there's no solid answer to this, to be honest. It really does depend. For a lot of the reasons I mentioned before, right? It comes down to a few things. eBay dropshipping, primarily finding the right products and doing optimization, but it also comes down to what your limits on your store are, how many items you're allowed to list and sell every month. In the beginning, it's going to be low. They intentionally limit you in the beginning because they want to make sure that you are actually fulfilling your orders, you're doing a good job, you're not getting in over your head, so to speak. So there is going to be a ramp up period that is built in to starting an eBay store. And if you're not good at product research, in fact, if you're really bad at it, you're not ever going to go anywhere with it until you improve at it. Now, product research is a skill that you can develop and master, and you can learn how to do that. So if you're not doing well in the beginning, don't get discouraged because you just got to keep practicing with product research. But I've seen people who just right out the gate are really good at it, know exactly how to do it. They figure it out pretty quickly, and they're able to make a profit with it really quickly, even if they have a lower limit. But other people, it's much harder because it takes them longer to figure it out and to get good at product research. Hey, what's up, Mike? Glad to see you. I have heard, Jay, of Walmart blocking people for return violations, but pretty much every single person who has told me that this happened to them, they said they then contacted Walmart. Walmart said it was a mistake and reinstated their account. So I would contact Walmart about it, and hopefully, just like the other people, your account will be up and running again pretty soon. Not off the top of my head, you got to go in and do that yourself. You got to do the research yourself. And it's the same research I mentioned before. So go on to CJ Dropshipping, find an item that is popular, one of their popular items, and search on eBay for it. See who else is selling it. Look through their store. Do this on Zeek. So it'll show you what items they are successfully selling over the past month. And if they're dropshipping that one item from CJ Dropshipping, a lot of their other items will be from CJ Dropshipping as well. Thanks. Appreciate it. Is there any way to change the buy price on AutoDS if you find the item from a different supplier to keep track of sales? I think I see what you're saying. I believe there is. I've never done that, so I don't know off the top of my head specifically how to do it. But I believe if you go to the orders on AutoDS, there is a way to update that, if that's what you're asking. I'd like to know where to put my delivery time. So what marketplace are you talking about? eBay or Facebook Marketplace? Because you have to put both your shipping and your handling time in there, and it's lumped together on there. I mean, like it's on one page in your shipping policy. I don't know what's going on with my audio. That's strange. Oh, on. I bet that helps a little bit. I'm not sure what's going on. It's kind of weird today because even when I never change the audio settings on here, but as soon as I booted it up, I could see that it was really high. I lowered it before it even started, and then someone said it was too high. So I apologize. Something weird is going on with my audio. Maybe it's the plug. I'll have to check that before next week. But thanks for letting me know. So Mike says, how do you handle a string of out-of-stock sales? I already contacted customers, giving them the option to cancel, to delay, don't want defects or negative feedback. Yeah, unfortunately, that's all you can do. I've had that too, where it's just like all of a sudden it seems like I get a bunch of out of stock orders, and it's always kind of frightening, but usually everything works itself out. You might get a negative feedback from it, but that's just the nature of it, unfortunately. But if you use the scripts, hopefully that will prevent you from getting that negative feedback. I'm not sure what this is a reference to. So this person said that they ordered the product from the supplier, but it never arrived. What should they do? You got to reach out to the supplier. Say, hey, where is this? This is supposed to be delivered. You put it on them because they're the ones who are responsible and they dropped the ball. So you got to put it on them. And what you do on the eBay side, that depends. So if the customer is complaining, you got to take action now. Maybe that means refunding them now and just canceling the order, and then working it out with the supplier and saying to the supplier, hey, look, I just want my money back. It's taking too long. I don't want this item anymore. But if the customer hasn't complained, you're kind of in an area where, do you risk it? Do you wait a little bit longer? Personally, I would until I hear back more information from the supplier. But it really depends on how the customer is reacting, whether they're upset. Track taco, like the taco that you eat at Taco Bell. Track taco. Thank you. There you go. David says, without getting too involved with taxes, can you touch base with the tax side? Briefly, I can talk about it. So there's two different types of taxes we deal with as resellers, as drop shippers: income tax and sales tax. Income tax is income tax, right? You're going to owe it to your state and the federal government based on how much profit you make, what your income is at the end of the year. So that's why it's important to keep track of the money coming in and the money going out, like what your business expenses are, because you're not taxed on your gross sales. You're taxed on what's left over after all your business expenses and all your cost of goods. So you want to make sure you're keeping track of all that. And sales tax, though, that's what you pay when you buy items. You pay it right in the store, right? So for that only has to be paid by the end consumer, who's not you in this case, because the end consumer is the person buying from you on eBay. So what you want to do is, what we do is we become certified with our state so we can become sales tax exempt. That then allows us to not pay sales tax to certain suppliers like Home Depot, Walmart, and Amazon. Other suppliers won't let you become tax exempt with them. So like Target will always charge me sales tax, even if I'm buying the items to resell them, because they don't allow you to be a reseller of their products. So it's on a store-by-store basis there. So you have to go through those steps to get sales tax exempt. Then you're not charged sales tax by your supplier, and the customers on eBay are the ones being charged sales tax by eBay, and eBay handles the sales tax from there. Carrie says, if I drop ship from Amazon, does AutoDS upload the Amazon tracking number? You can set it up for them to do that. Yes, but you have to set that up. Dr. T or DRT says, does eBay penalize us if we have too many listings without free returns? By penalize, I mean, does eBay limit traffic exposure to our store or listings? So where your items show up in the search results is part of eBay's algorithm. They don't reveal to us what goes into that algorithm, but we as sellers have figured out some of the things that the algorithm considers. So what does it look at? Well, it looks at how many photos you have. The more photos, the better. The quality of those photos. The better the photos are, the higher quality of those photos are, the higher up in the search results you're going to be. It looks at the price of your item. It looks at things like your your selling history and how well you've sold things in the past, whether there's defects on your account. And it looks at things like all your policies, how quickly you're going to get the item to the customer, and what your return policy is as well. All those things matter. So the better you can make your listings, the higher in the search results you'll be. And one of the things that eBay considers to be a good thing is when you offer free returns. Now, a lot of sellers on eBay don't offer free returns, so it's not like the most popular thing on eBay, but a lot of them do, and it definitely does help you in the search results. It does. But I haven't seen that one bad listing or a few bad listings, I haven't seen those to affect other listings of yours. When I first started selling on eBay, most of my listings were pretty bad, and I finally got one good one, and that one did really well, even though the other ones weren't doing well. So I don't think having mostly bad listings is going to hurt the listings that you do have that are good. Tyler says, if you get approval from a wholesaler and see another eBay seller using the same wholesaler, but they change the photos or the description, can you use those photos and description? I wouldn't. No, I would use the ones given to you by the wholesaler, because those are the ones that you have permission to use yourself. And I wouldn't copy someone else's because you don't know where they got those from. Same thing. So AZ says they were doing good on eBay and now things have kind of slowed down. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of normal, especially if you're a new seller, for there to be fluctuations in your sales velocity or your sales volume, maybe is a better word to use. There's a few reasons for that. If you only have a few listings, then the main reason this is going to happen is because, let's say you have 10 listings and 2 of them are really good. They're selling a lot. In fact, like 80% of your sales is coming from 2 listings. And by the way, that's not unusual at all. That's what it was like for me in the beginning, and what it's like for a lot of successful sellers when they're starting out. They just have a few listings that are doing really well. So you have these 2 listings that are doing well, and then all of a sudden one of them goes out of stock. Maybe both of them go out of stock. Well, there goes 80% of your sales, right? But as your store grows and grows and grows, you're going to have more of those listings that are doing well. So if one of them goes out of stock, it's not really going to affect you after a while because things will still be kind of more evened out. So that's normal is what I'm saying. And it comes down to the same things I mentioned before. It's just about product research and optimization. Those are the things you really got to master. Malo says, how long does it take a newcomer to make your first sale? I'm about to start, so I'm super nervous. So yeah, it's like I said before, it really depends. Some people can make their first sale their first day. Other people will take a couple of weeks. It depends on your product research. And part of that's just, sorry about that. Part of that might just come down to luck in the beginning a little bit. And I wouldn't be nervous about this. You know, you have very little to lose by just starting out, just throwing up some products and seeing what happens and just trying and doing trial and error and testing over and over again. So I would not be nervous about it at all. All right. Okay, you said they answered that. How can we take measures to prevent Vero violations on images? Zeek does not detect these listings as Vero, but eBay gives us a violation warning stating the image violates their Vero policies. So Vero is eBay's verified rights owner program. So what that is there are certain brands that don't want you to use their stock images and stock descriptions without their permission. So in other words, we can't list those items that are from that brand. If you use Zeek Analytics, Zeek, as you're doing research, let's say you come across a product, if that product is within Zeke's Vero list, it will say, hey, this is a Vero brand. You don't want to sell this item. Let's say Zeek Analytics misses it. When you go to list it on AutoDS, same thing. AutoDS has its own list of Vero brands that it will tell you to avoid. So you kind of have two protections in place there, but it's not 100% because some brands, they never have any Vero problems until suddenly they do. So some brands do kind of pop up, new ones. So the image, I'm trying to think of how to like answer your question here. So you're saying the warning is about the image, but really the warning is about the brand. It's the brand that doesn't want you to use their image. So all Zeek Analytics has to do is detect that it's the brand, and they can see that through the title and through the description. So if they see that brand name comes up, they're going to warn you that's a Vero item, regardless of what the image looks like. What else was I going to say about that? Yeah, so it sounds like in this case what happened was that was just a new brand that just got added to the Vero list that had never showed up for Zeek Analytics or AutoDS before. Linda says, what's the best way to get feedback from customers without sounding desperate or needy? So first of all, set it up so that you automatically send them feedback after the sale is complete. So first do that. Then you can set up AutoDS to automatically send a request to them for feedback that I think they have a template in there that's pretty good. It just says like, hey, I just want to check in now the order's complete and see that and just ask you if you're fully satisfied with your order. If you aren't, please reply back and let me know what I can do to resolve this issue. And if you are satisfied, please consider leaving us feedback. I'm a small seller, and any feedback like that really helps. And then provide them information on how to leave feedback. And that's it. That's all you got to do. And only send them one. Yeah, so as like I said before, Gerardo says, does making a listing that sells well increase traffic exposure to my other listings too, or just that one in particular? What are some tips to increase traffic exposure in general? I think I covered this pretty well before, kind of the things that go into the algorithm. But yeah, in general, listings are isolated, meaning if other listings are doing well, I haven't seen it to help my other listings. But with that said, if your account overall is in good health, in good shape, and you're doing well, all of that is helpful for all of your listings. But let's say one of your listings is so bad it's showing up on the last page of the search results where like no one's ever going to see it. And let's say your account overall is doing well, you're selling other items, now you get a boost to all your listings. Well, a boost to that item that's all the way at the end of the search results, maybe it boosted up a couple of pages, it's still way back there, so it's not going to help. But if you're maybe on page 2 of the search results with the listing and you're doing everything else right, so eBay boosts up your listing, maybe now that puts that on page 1 of the search results. So that's when it does make a difference. Good to see you, Odima. Okay, good. Glad it was helpful. Let me close this blinds over here. It's getting quite hot in here. Whew. It's getting warm. It's been about 100 degrees every day here. Thanks, Cred. Good to be here. Gerardo says, I have a listing that sold once about 70 days ago. No sales since then. Should I keep it or remove it? So you have two options, Gerardo. One, you can go into that listing and try to make it better, try to optimize it. Maybe that means changing up the title, changing up the price of it, maybe changing the main image, because you know that someone's interested in this, right? It has sold at least once. Or you just delete it. Generally, if items of mine haven't sold in the past 30 days, even if they sold before that, I just delete them. That's a rule of thumb for me to make sure that I can just do this at scale. And I'm not going to go into items individually because of all the items that I have and change it. but doing it at scale, that's just like an easy rule of thumb. I don't know if there really is an average for that. Cool, welcome. I don't know what the Pythons is all about, but I appreciate you, man. So Perky says, I only just opened an eBay account. How many listings will eBay allow me to have? It's different for every account. So you got to log into your seller dashboard and take a look. If you can't find it, you can always call eBay and ask them. Tyler says, if you just relist your items from AutoDS, is the advertising not as high as a completely new listing? I'm not quite following you what you mean by relisting them. So let me give two different explanations here. If you have an item in your eBay store that's doing well, you don't want to delete that item and relist it, because then you're going to lose all of your sales history. So don't do that, okay? I think the other question I want to answer here is, if you're bulk listing items on AutoDS, is that better or worse? No, actually, I'm not following your listing. I'm not following the question, I don't think. But the first part stands true. Don't delete listings that are doing well. How do I know if someone bought a product? Where do I go? So there's a few ways that you can do this. So first, I would recommend, looking for my phone, downloading the eBay app on your phone and turning on notifications. That way, if you get a sale, and log in, obviously, that way, if you get a sale, you actually get a notification right on your phone. You'll also get an email about it. And when you log into your eBay account, you can go into your seller dashboard and see all your orders in there, or you can click on the top right where there's the notifications and the sales will appear there as well. So there's a few places you can look. Best thing is to download the app for your phone. Facebook Marketplace is going well. Shops has definitely slowed down a bit over the past year, but Marketplace seems to be doing well. All right, just lost my place here. Let's see. So let me start at the bottom because I lost my place. Carrie says, you mentioned we shouldn't upload Amazon tracking numbers to eBay or Facebook. How do we solve that issue? So there's services that will convert those tracking numbers. So you can use, again, like Track Taco. You can convert the tracking numbers. Or if you're using AutoDS to fulfill your orders, they will automatically convert the tracking numbers for you. All right. You just got to start slowly with your eBay account. You can't ramp up too quickly. You can anyway, usually, because of the limits on your accounts, on new accounts. But even if you have a higher limit, you still don't want to move too quickly with any eBay account. You want to take time to prime it, then to actually list items, and then we have a really high success rate with that. There are liability reasons I can't do that anymore. And because of advertising laws and things like that. Yeah, without looking at your account, I'm not sure what happened. A lot of people that I see get banned from eBay, they live in one country that's outside, it's not the United States, and they say they're in the United States, and that raises a red flag. That's the biggest issue I see. Other people, they try to set up an eBay account with a VPN on their computer, and that's a big no-no as well. You can reach out to, what's the guy's name? There's a guy on Facebook who can help you, but I'm just blanking on his name right now. If you send me an email, paul@pauljlipsky.com, I'll send you his information. But if you've tried everything to get your eBay account back and you can't, that's probably the best person to reach out to. Tim says, can I do drop shipping even if I'm not 18 yet? So technically, no. Technically, you're not allowed to sell on eBay until you're 18 or Amazon, but you could have a parent set up an account and basically run it for them with their permission. That's really the only way around it that I've seen. Carter Maxwell, who's made some videos here and who has a YouTube channel and is big on Instagram, he does a lot of selling on Amazon. That's what he did when he was in high school. He ran his parents' account for him basically and then converted it to his when he got older. Yes, yeah, exactly. Do that. With average of 1,000 sales a day with 600 listings. Am I reading that right? How many listings to continue adding? Yeah, I'm not sure with that. I don't have enough information. I got to look at your account. But, you know, like anything, just don't scale up too quickly. It's never worth it. You can always run into issues with that. But without looking at specifics, I can't say for sure. I'm not, because I'm also not following. Yeah, okay, I see. List 25 a day, delete 5 a day. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good rate to me. Just make sure that the listings that you're adding are well researched and well optimized. A lot of people like to say, okay, I'm going to list 30 items a day, 25 items a day. And in order to hit that, they just list anything, kind of rush through it. I would rather list one item a day that's well optimized than 20 just random items. Obviously, you know, one's not enough. You want to be listing more than that, but just to give you kind of a comparison there. So the Titan community is on Facebook. So make sure you after you joined, you go to the first module in the course and it'll tell you how to join the Facebook group. And then we'll let you into that. It's been a while since you and Carter made videos together. Do you plan on doing any collaborations again? Yeah, we should. I should reach out to him. It has been a while since I even talked to him. We both kind of were doing different things for a bit. He was off in Thailand meeting with virtual assistants. He's just been killing it with virtual assistants recently. So yeah, I got to touch base with him again. Yeah, maybe try with your wife's account. Yeah, without looking at it, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know. All right, guys, I'm going to end it there. I got through all the questions, and quite frankly, it is getting really hot in here. There's a lot of windows in here, so I got to boost up the AC or something. But I appreciate everyone coming out, asking such great questions. I do this every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time, so if you have any questions that you want answered, make sure to come to one of these live streams. Make sure to ask questions, and I'll see you at the next one. Remember, in the description of this video are a whole bunch of free resources for you, a whole bunch of ebooks I put together about how to drop ship, including ones that include all the software I recommend for drop shipping, all of the suppliers I recommend for drop shipping, and then just general guides on how to drop ship on eBay and Facebook Marketplace. So definitely check those out, and I'll see you at the next live Q&A next week. Bye for now.